Welcome back to part 2 of music systems and cool stuff that I am working on. Today we're going to be talking about the tracking system here. Track system. First I'm just going to play through all the parts and let you hear what it sounds like all together, and then I'll talk a little bit about the applications that can be done using this. So that's what it sounds like all together. Now, you may notice some bars appearing and things flip-flopping all over the place. I'll get to that in a minute. So the first thing that I thought about when I thought about making the system was a situation where you're in a boss fight and the music starts out kind of plain, simple, you know, and then every hit you land on the boss, it would add a track, and so it would get more exciting and more intense at a good feeling pace that matched up with what you were doing to add even more to the experience. So at the beginning it would be nice and plain, and then nearing the end of the fight it would have everything going, be intense and exciting. But other things we could do with this I touched on a little bit in the previous video, where say the song was playing and then you drop down into an icy crystalline cavern, then the lead instrument would need to be changed to a more cool string or a plucked instrument, and then the bass line would need to be mellowed, and you know, little things like that to change the feel while still being the same song. And I feel that gives a good sense of atmosphere and not like leaving a room, coming into another room and having a different song playing that just doesn't feel as nice. Now, another thing you may have noticed is the alternate tracks here that play when certain things are activated. Now these are tied to other things that happen. I'll give you an example on why the bass and drums do what they do. Now the way a bass line interacts with drums in a song can be tricky and requires some extra attention. If the bass line is playing but the drums are not playing, then the bass line can play out in all its bassy glory. But as soon as the drums kick in, the bass needs to have an effect applied to it to allow the kick and the bass to share the same frequency space without maxing and causing clipping. Since GameMaker doesn't have a native musical function that a mixer board would have, we had to work around that. So we made two bass line stems. Stem is each of these tracks. The stock bass line, the one that plays when there are no drums, and the behavioral bass line, the one that plays when drums are present. Now in this case, the drums would be the trigger to change the bass line. Now I set it up in a way that it's really easy to tell each stem what to be triggered by if it has an alternate. I'll show you some code. Now, because I'm a huge fan of modular code and really nice, easy to use things, I set it up in a way that's just pretty much as simple as this. I had a function I call add track to music. You just run this all once at the create event or beginning of the room or wherever you want to set this up, first room, whatever. And then the things that it has is the track name, which is the name of the resource. It's in the string, so I could easily pull it back out for the displaying purposes for this. Whether or not it has an exception, if it does, this is the stem that it will notice is playing, and then it will change to whatever is listed here. So, as you can see in the bass part, when track 7, which is the drums, is activated, it will switch to the boss music for the alternate bass instead. So that's pretty much it. I'll probably be putting up some more real examples of this in use soon. Hopefully, soonish, you know. And in the meantime, you should check out Kyle's channel. He made the music for this and will likely be making more music going forward. Super good stuff. Check it out. And check me out next time. Alright. See ya.